They're finalizing the test. Tonight's attendance, 4,844, 4,844 for a live gate of $291,000. $50,000 bonuses. We did 4 performance bonuses tonight. Wonderboy Thompson, Masvidal, Saman, and Usman. $50,000 each. Congratulations, guys.
Dave, before you get to the fighters, just want to ask one. There was breaking news tonight. The coaches do fighter 22, Conor McGregor, Uriah Faber. Obviously, they're not going to fight at the end of the season. I know it's not all your choice to make. Can you give us an idea of how that came together, what the thought process on 2 coaches not fighting, and why Conor is right back out in front of the spotlight again?
Yeah, well, I mean, Conor's can't miss TV right now. And I think there's a lot of buzz for Conor, not only here, but over in Europe and the rest of the world. So the way we formatted this show to be Europe versus the United States, let's be honest, Faber and McGregor don't get along, so it made a lot of sense from us from a production standpoint. And at the end of the day, this is going to be can't miss TV. We're really excited about the format. We're really excited about the coaches.
Can you reveal when that was decided? Because obviously they had that little conflict over the weekend, and people are kind of wondering, did that play into it? Was it something that had already been decided? Was it a backup plan? Help us understand when it came together.
We had several options going into last night's main event, and with that outcome, that's what we went with. But no, I saw the tweets. There was nothing premeditated. There was no anything there. There was no fake drama. Uriah ran into Conor backstage. I think if you look at the video, Conor gave him like a little tap on the top of the head. I'm used to getting those. And Uriah didn't react well. Fortunately, Uriah didn't turn that into anything more than it could be. But that wasn't premeditated. That wasn't manufactured. These guys don't like each other. And at the end of the day, one's going to represent the United States, one's going to represent Europe.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. If I could for Josh, please. Obviously, you were campaigning for the $50,000. You just found out you got it. Tell me how good that feels right now, and what are your plans for that money?
My plan for the money is I'd like to buy a house, to answer that question. And how it feels, man, is it feels good. As I told John immediately after the fight, is that my main objective when I'm out there in the octagon now is to entertain and to make sure that I'm putting on exciting fights. And everyone wants to win, and me included. But what's more important for me is to make sure that that I'm here at press conferences, to make sure that I have fans talking about my performance, and that I'm walking away with no less than $50,000.
With that said, you are getting incredible results as well. So do you think it's that mindset of just putting on the exciting fights that's the key to you getting these results as well?
I felt just so much less pressure, in my last 2 fights. And in each time I step out there, I just feel more and more comfortable, and just being able to go out there and just focus on making my folks back home proud and stuff is just a huge relief for me, man. And so win or lose, I know that my people have my back, and I know that I'm going to be in exciting fights, and I can't see it any other way right now.
Last question for you, Josh. Can you just take a little bizarre incident at the end of the fight where he basically spit blood on you after refusing to touch your hand? What was that about?
You'd have to ask him what it was about exactly. I think he was just upset. He came up and apologized after the fight and said that it was just in the heat of the moment, and so I can't speak for him really.
Thanks, Josh. If I just could briefly for George, great win for you tonight. Can you help us understand how much different you feel, what the difference is between you at 170 and you at 155?
The difference is huge. I felt when I woke up today, when I was doing my sprints, I always do sprints in the morning before the day of the fight. I felt good. I felt explosive. Usually I feel like a little lethargic or heavy when I drop down to 56 and then I put the weight back on. I'm usually around like 78, so just putting all that weight back on, I feel good. I felt great today.
Obviously, you initially missed weight as well, which is a little surprise since you were moving up. What happened there? Was it just a miscalculation, or what was the issue?
One of the UFC guys wanted to run by Steak and Shake, or In-N-Out Burger real quick, so I got tempted and whatever. I did, but then I sweated off the 2 pounds, so I was good.
You really didn't have In-N-Out before it?
No comment.
Hey, last question for you. You called out Matt Brown after the fight. Why is that a fight that interests you?
I think it interests the public mainly. I've always wanted to fight Matt Brown. I like his style. He just comes forward to fight, so hopefully I get my hands on him.
Next question, guys. Go ahead, Richard.
Thanks, Dave. First of all, a question for Dave. Let me ask you about the Sunday night arrangement with Ultimate Fighter. It's the 2nd year in a row you guys have done it. It seems like a great option for fans that can't necessarily land the big ticket on the Saturday night. it is a big venue, and of course it keeps the Ultimate Fighter finales out of the smaller venues where we see them sometimes. Can you kind of take us through the business model of that? How big does the Sunday night event have to be for the UFC to say this is the model that works, the back-to-back?
Well, I think it's twofold. First and foremost, Sundays are great for TV for us. A lot of people were speculating, why didn't we do this on Friday or Thursday, whatever it may be. Sunday's a great TV night for us, particularly on Fox Sports 1. And secondly, we're fortunate to have great partners here at MGM. It made a lot of sense for us to stay here. It made a lot of sense for us. We could use the same octagon, use the same crews. So first and foremost, it was a TV decision, but after that, it made a lot of sense just from a logistics standpoint.
Okay. Also, and to follow up on John's question about the selection of Conor McGregor versus Uriah Faber, I think obviously everybody understands the selection of Conor McGregor. What was the idea of entertaining Frankie Edgar to coach Team USA ever considered, seeing as how it's possible that he could be an opponent for Conor before Uriah Faber might be down?
For sure. We reviewed several different options on it. At the end of the day, I think everyone knows what Uriah brings to the table from a coaching perspective. That's not a knock on anybody else, but he certainly thrives in the tough format. And I think when you look at him and you look at Conor together, it's pretty combustible and should make for great TV.
Does Conor have any injuries that need to heal up? Is this an opportunity for him to be on TV and be in the forefront, but at the same time have a little bit of a time
Yeah,
out?
you saw the fight last night, Richard. He certainly was he was in a war, but he has no injuries to report. But at the end of the day, he was eager to jump back in. He's staying in the McMansion for another 2 months, and I'm sure he's going to hate all of that. So he'll be at the McMansion for another 2 months. The taping starts this week. Fighters arrive actually tomorrow, so we're going to hit the ground running.
Question for Kamaru Usman on your victory tonight. First of all, let me ask you about the second round. You dominated the first round, and it appeared at the second that Hassan really came out determined and swinging. Did you sense that after a very frustrating first round for him, that he was coming out very aggressive in that second?
Yeah, I definitely knew that. You know, his coaches probably told him, you got to come out and you got to, because he can afford to take another round like that, because I knew he was getting tired. It's tiring to wrestle a wrestler. And I knew he was going to come out more determined, but at the same time, I was coming out more determined. And I just watched the highlights, and I didn't even know that I was even hurt at all. It was just by instincts, you know, I just do what I do every day in the gym, and took him down, and ultimately got the finish.
And finally, a question from Michelle Waterson. Michelle, I saw your quote. You said that just coming out, you felt a little bit of octagon jitters that went away, but this was a very well-rounded performance. 4 submissions, takedowns, controlling the top game, and then ultimately the submission finish. For those of us who have watched you through Invicta, where would this rank for you in terms of your more well-rounded performances?
I think it's exactly what you said. I feel like tonight I was able to display everything, all of my abilities with the stand-up, the grappling, the wrestling, which is exciting for me because I get to tell my coaches that I did what they worked with me on, so it's very exciting.
I have a question, Michelle, actually, to continue on with you. Yeah, obviously this is a newer weight for you. You had to go up. You were joking about, throwing bigger legs around and everything. I am curious how you felt you were able to take Angela down, but, how did you feel in terms of strength and power and ability with this weight class?
I felt good, just getting my feet wet a little bit and kind of feeling the weight. I feel like everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses, no matter what weight class you're at. So you just have to find what you're good at and just capitalize on it.
Thank you. Michael Graves, this is for you. You looked great tonight. You actually looked a lot better than you did on the show. Now, I'm just curious, did you make a lot of changes after the show, or was it just something about that format of, performing in front of everybody at the show that was different for you? Why did you seem to be markedly improved this time?
I don't want to get too much in before the show. I'll just say that my head really wasn't into fighting. I was getting ready to change up things in my life before the show, and that kind of got thrown into my lap, and I couldn't turn it down. And after the show, I wasn't happy with either one of my performances. And after that, I was just working very, very hard, very diligently every day. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not taking anything away from the organizations that I fought before, but I kind of consider that semi-pro. I consider myself 1-0 as a professional right now. I consider the UFC like the majors, like the MLB or the NFL. So the way I look at it, I'm a rookie, I'm 1-0, and I got a lot of room for improvement. I'm just going to continue to work hard and do my thing.
Well, I'm curious about some of the things that you want to change, and I don't know if yesterday after the weigh-ins if that was real Bud Light or not?
I don't know. If it
You
was
can't say no comment. You have to answer.
I can't say no comment?
No.
No, I'm listening to Josh, no comment. It was a Bud Light can, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. So again, this was something that we talked about on the show with you and the drinking thing, and everybody
Yes.
seems to want to put that on you, and then you come out and drink a beer after the weigh-in. So
I was just rolling with it. At weigh-ins, I felt very confident. I felt like I was going to go out there and win the fight and do my thing. I'm looking to make a name for myself in any way I can. I'm looking to stand out, show out. And I was happy with my performance. I don't want to take anything away from Vicente, but I feel like I could have opened up a lot more. Whenever I don't finish the fight, I kind of feel like I lost in a way, as dumb as that may sound. So my cardio, surprisingly, I kind of got tired in the third round, which I worked very diligently on. I mean, I was doing a lot of running and swimming, which I'd never really done before. I mean, all the time. So maybe it was my nerves, maybe it was like the experience factor. I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to continue to work on it. And every time I go out there, I'm going to look to finish.
was that choke anywhere close?
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, he was throwing some knees too. I was trying to shake. I was trying to do kind of trying to like sit out a little bit, and I didn't know why. I know that's his choke too. I've studied film on him. He got one of my teammates, Nate Coy, in the show with that same choke. I know that's his move. So when he got me in there, I was very aware, and me and my coach Levo have been practicing on that, so I was able to get out and turn it around.
Well, good job. And Kamaru, for you, you kind of mentioned this in the Octagon afterwards about how, you weren't the guy that everybody thought should have been in there in the final fight. They thought it should have been Vicente. So how much did that play on your head when you were going into this, and, in terms of added pressure maybe that you felt to deliver?
Not so much added pressure. It was something that, a little bit, it was a little tough to swallow initially, but, like I mentioned, not everyone's always going to believe in you. But people that counted, which was myself and my manager, we believed in me, and so I just had to go out there and prove everybody else wrong.
So what did they all say to you right afterwards?
I'll disclose that later.
All right, I'll ask you. Thank you.
Hi, question for Graves and Usman again. Just kind of going off what Karen said. What did you take away from your experiences in TUF, and how did that help you going into this fight?
What I took away from it, it's, I've been a wrestler since I was 15 years old, and just being a wrestler and being in the seasons, you have to be able to make weight each and every week, every weekend. Make weight, and then it's 1 hour turnaround. You make weight, you gotta wrestle in an hour. And it's a tournament that lasts all day, so sometimes you might wrestle 6, 7 different times during that day. And so it wasn't that big of an adjustment for me to make the weight, in a rapid succession like that. But the thing is, ultimately, it's a fight. And so when you get in there, there's no type of sport that I think prepares you for the adrenaline that you're gonna have when you're in that cage. You are locked in there. It's one man's gonna walk out the victor. And so it's the show definitely prepares you and lets you know if this is really what you want to do in the future for your career.
And same again for Graves.
Kind of what I got, kind of similar answers before. The show just enabled me to have a different outlook on the game and in life in general. Since the show, I've just been changing things up. Just been trying to improve little baby steps every day, whether it's just, work out at the park or going to the gym. Every day I'm looking to improve. Like I said, I look at myself as a rookie, and I feel like my potential is very high, so I'm just going to continue to work.
Dave, will Magalhaes face any kind of disciplinary action for spitting blood in Josh's face?
We're going to talk about that tomorrow when we get back. I know that they cleared the air backstage. We're just trying to get some more facts on what was going through his mind at that point, if he was clear-headed and whatnot. But clearly, we don't condone that type of behavior. We're all about sportsmanship, and that wasn't any chance of display there at all.
Cool. Michelle, for you, I know you are looking for a title shot in the very near future, but is there anyone you want to face next, coming up? I'm over here, by the way.
Oh, yes, for you. I don't have anybody in mind. I would like to get into the rankings. I know I'm moving up from 105. to 115. So yeah, I'd like to get into the top 10 and make the ranks.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're gonna front Christoph, John Morgan.
Usman, I did want to follow up with you a little bit. As far as I know, I mean, I don't think there was any guaranteed contract on the line. Unlike past seasons, the Ultimate Fighter, the guy that fights in finals, he wins, he's guaranteed a spot in the UFC. I never heard that as a stipulation of this season. So, I mean, were you coming in tonight not knowing if a win even earns you a place in the UFC? What was that like?
He's in the UFC. He's in the UFC, and it looks like all 4 guys will get another opportunity.
Fantastic. Well, I guess tell us what your thought process was coming in, and then I guess getting that news, what it's like now.
My thought process was to go out there and just do what I do and focus on the fight. I wasn't worried about the contract or the win or the money or things like that. That was just an added bonus. If I went out there and performed the way that I'm capable of performing, I knew everything else would follow suit. And so, that was just my main focus, was to go out there and do what I do best.
That said, getting the confirmation that you're in the UFC officially, was that a huge moment for you?
And that definitely feels good. Feels good.
And certainly not your decision to make, but the $300,000 prize. Have you heard anything about what the team intends to do with that money?
I'll let the boss man go ahead and figure that out.
Any other questions? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this group go. Wonder Boys about 5 to 10 minutes out. We'll resume the press conference when Steven gets here. Thank you, guys.